how nourishing others nourishes you too. This is a wonderful formula of natural law. If you nourish a tree, if you nourish a sapling, it becomes tree. It feeds many, many people. So just nourishing a tree or nourishing a sapling means nourishing a tree, and then tree nourishes so many persons. So this is a natural law. So if you nourish somebody by any means, like it is said, manasa, vacha or karmana, whether by thinking, whether by intention, or by expressing it, or in words, or by action, by deeds, by some doing. All the levels are nourishing natural laws. When we nourish something, we nourish natural laws. When we nourish something outside, so it is not merely sowing a seed outside, it is sowing a seed inside too. And that seed which is sown inside nourishes you. And it is a natural law. It is a typical natural law. Of course, laws of karmas also. And that is how we make a society a better place. We make a relation a better relation. We make a family a better family. Generally, when we communicate, there are some people who have tendencies. They speak in a way which knowingly or unknowingly hurts somebody. If it is intentional, then it bounces back manifold. If it is unintentional, then nature guides them. Nature hints them, be careful. But if somebody doesn't receive the signals from nature and keeps on repeating the same thing, then that becomes a bad karma. And that karma bounces back. And that karma becomes a bad seed which creates bad tree. So one should be very careful in communication, in interactions. In all relations, something which must be taken care of very, very carefully, how to interact. If you don't interact in the way that it is nourishing on very final level, emotional level, on a very sensitive level, or very grosser level. So whatever level, it is not nourishing, it bounces back on the same level, manifolded. So similarly, as nourishing something nourishes you too, similarly, if something which is against natural laws, which is not nourishing somebody, which is creating scars visibly or invisibly, which is creating emotional stress to someone, that will become a seed which will gradually grow in a bad tree, and it will make the person who initiated it. So that's why it is very well said that we should be very pure, very transparent, very positive on all the three levels, whether it is manasa, vacha or karmana, whether it is on the level of thought, on the level of speech, or on the level of action. So ideal communication should be, which takes care of all the levels. Of course, physical, mental and spiritual. Along with that, all emotional sensitivity, on the level of sensitivity, one should take care of all these things very, very carefully, because we know as you sow, so shall you reap. It is also a sort of sowing something. If you are sowing nourishment, you get nourishment back. Like a great master, Rishi Maharishi says that whatever one has, one only can give that what one has. So if somebody is always giving negativity, stress, strain to others, it means he is full of that. So either that person should be avoided or try to help. These people should be helped. But sometimes things are so rigid that the person who is going to help becomes affected by the rigidity or intense negativity of the person. But one should keep on trying, maybe one day something happens. But one should take care of these things in relations, in communication, in dealing, because if it is not taken care of properly, then the innocence of a person gets affected. And when innocence gets affected, then the creativity, the productivity of a person is affected. And when creativity and productivity is affected, then a society is affected. Because in a way, if something good was going to be added in society, and the person who was capable to add something in society is affected by these surroundings, these negativities, these stressed people, then that creativity won't be contributed to society. That positivity won't be contributed to society. And society will be deprived of having something good. So it is very good. It is also something nice. It's also for the benefit of society to observe the behavior of people whom you are going to interact, that whether it is going to affect you positively or negatively, whether it is going to affect you productivity or creativity, then one should take care of. One should be very, very careful in making interaction and coming in contact with these people, because that is something very important and very, very healthy for a person. And to keep every individual healthy is very necessary to keep a family and society healthy. So one should be very careful in doing the deeds so that it doesn't affect others, and one should be very careful that the person is also not going to be affected by the deeds of these types of people. So one should be very, very careful to retain that delicacy, that softness, that purity, which is responsible for all the great, great contribution one can do to society. That potential is very necessary to protect. So these are very important things for a person who can contribute to society, to live in such an atmosphere, such an ambience, such a surrounding, which is only nourishing, only everybody is taking care of everybody. Even a single drop of, one shouldn't go in that direction. One should be very careful in feeling level and action level. Not to do that, not to do that, not to have that. These are very, very important things to live a delicately healthy life, because we find so many tendencies around us. Some people are intentional in those things, and the person who is innocently doing it, you can rectify that person. But the person who is intentionally doing it, that is very difficult to rectify. So, there is a sutra in Patanjali Yoga Darshan, how to take care of that. Simply be aware of it and try to make yourself aloof of it. That's the secret. Because the more muddle you, it's a saying that mud cannot clean a mud. Only water can clean a mud. So that's why indulging with these tendencies only increase it. It is not going to eliminate it. So that's why the Sutra of Patanjali Yoga Darshan says that is called just try to be aware of it and just try to avoid it. That is very necessary to keep a healthy plane on every level.